There is no telling where this portal leads. Enter anyway. Another dream. Wizard, Bard, Mind Flayer.
Time to finish this.
This is a reflection of a human bard who is trapped here. Travel to the bard's prison. Girler. Ah, a newcomer. Welcome, sir. Come to play Hells, have you? Hells? Yes, sir, Hells. It is an entirely original game of my own creation, I'm proud to say. Let's play Hells. Excellent, sir. I will explain the rules. Listen closely, because I will not ever repeat myself. What did you say? Ah, I said I won't ever Oh, nice one, sir. You almost tricked me into repeating myself. Now, where were we? Oh yes, the rules. Hells is a game of deduction, sir, inspired by the 9 hells of Beator: Avernus, Dis, Minauras, Legethas, Stygia, Malbolge, Maladomini, Kenya, and Nessus. I will think 4 hells, and you, sir, will have 9 guesses to determine what I have in mind. Right. See? If you get one of the hells correct, and in correct order, you have a devil. If you get one of the hells correct, but in order, but not in order, you have a demon. Can you give me an example? Certainly, sir. For example, if the first hell I had in mind was Nessus, and you guessed Nessus first, then you will have one devil. And if I had Nessus in mind first, and you chose Nessus second, then you would have one demon. Hell sounds similar to another game. Impossible, sir. I am a notorious gambler and have traveled fair and far and wide. Hells is something new and innovative. There is nothing else like it, sir. Yes, there is. No, there isn't, sir. Hell is unique. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Sherlock glares at you, stubbornly refusing to repeat himself. Very well, let's play Hells. Yes, sir. Before we begin, let's agree on the wager. Have no cares for wealth. I can see about imagining some into being for you to play with. For you, simply concentrate on the game and I shall do the rest. Alright, let's wager your fake goat then. To tell the truth, sir, I have been breaking even for the longest time, so I cannot afford to make a large bet. Medium or small? Bet Gans gold. I'll wager a medium amount. Which of the hells will be your first choice, sir? Um, I'm not. I'm not good at this. I'm sure this is a game that if you deduce things properly, you can't lose. I don't recall how many tries we had. I don't recall the rules anymore. Uh, well, we can look for here. How many tries? Devils and demons, but how many tries? You will have 9 guesses to determine what I have in mind. Okay, so I'm guessing that's exactly it. That with 9 guesses, you have to be able to guess not only naturally the hells, but also their exact location. I mean, if you just think about it, might as well start with hopefully hopefully this order of things isn't gonna change. So I'm gonna just try to first for Avernus, Dis, Minaros, and Legathos. Very well, sir. The hells you chose were Avernus, Dis, Minaros, and Legathos. You have a lone devil. Which could it be? Ding, ding, ding. Actually, that's very good. Very, very good. So, 8 guesses remain. I think first and foremost we need to find out what they are, what are the hells. One of those 4. But only 1 there, so the remaining 5 have 3. You have no devils, but you did get 2 demons. 7 more chances, so next path 4 has 2, and which means Nessus is one of them. 2, 2, 2. So we might as well start including it too. And there were no devils, but 2 demons, so the order cannot possibly be right, any of these. So we would have one. Would like to switch them up, meaning okay. I don't know what would be the best thing, how to proceed first. So we probably should try to figure out what are the 3 out of these first 8. Is there a good way to do it? Shit, because if we just start mixing these up randomly, are we gonna learn any new information out of it? I don't know if we are. So would it make more sense to try to figure out which out of these 4 it was? How would we do that? Well, I suppose we could switch. Yeah, 9 attempts. That's quite a lot of attempts, but at the same time, now that I think about it, it's not that many. I don't. We could get a little bit lucky, I suppose. But shit. Yeah, I don't have a way to proceed here. I think this is one of those games that it stops being interesting the moment you know the system, how you're supposed to figure things out, and then it's no longer a game. Not really. How would we figure them out? Suppose we can just try, take randomly. I mean, we know Nessus is going to be one of them. Out of this group, there's going to be two, and out of this group, there's going to be one, and it has to be the correct location. It's either the first, the second, the third, or the fourth. Well, we could do it in order. Have Avernus first, have Malbo, Maladomini, and Camia then. I mean, if those are the ones, it should be Devil, Demon, Demon. If those are the results that we know it is, it cannot be an extra demon because we're doing the out of the first group in the correct order or the same order as well as in the second group. So the end result, if we have the correct set, is Devil, Demon, Demon. If we're lacking a demon, the one we missed has to be one of the correct choices. If we're lacking a devil, it's not from the first group. So we'll take Avernus, Malboge, Maladomini, and yeah. You got no devils, but you did get a single demon. So that is good. Because we know Avernus is not it. We also know that Stygia is one of the devils. I mean demons. So Stygia it is, and Stygia cannot be in the first. How do we proceed? We probably want to just keep going through these, but is there any more point in trying to maintain Stygia where it is in the first place? Just we'll go through these one at a time, but shit. This was the third attempt, so we only have attempts left. Let's put Nessus. No. Ah, fuck. We know Nessus is one of them. But we already have one devil. I want to know where that is. It should help click the others in place very quickly. So I'd say we have about 3 attempts to see where the 3 we have more or less are. So I'll still take Stygia as first. Sure, it's a good idea. This as second. Maladomini and Kanya. We got 1 devil and 2 demons. So that's it. This is the second. Yeah. the second. Stygia cannot be first, but it's one of them. Melodiminio Kanya is the other then, and Nessus is the one. So now it's is it Melodimini or Kanya? Because we might as well start putting these the pieces into place already. Nessus first. This. Melodimini and Kanya, was it? Stygia and say Stygia and Kanya. No, Stygia and Melodimini. Two devils and a demon. Okay. So Nessus, this, Stygia and Kanya. That's what we need to go. Oh, no. Nessus, this, Kanya, Stygia. Four devils. Hells, you won. Five losses are beginning to make me nervous, sir. We acquired 4,000 imaginary gold.
Hello.
Just play Hells. It gains gold, small amounts. I wonder if he's going to play something else once he runs out of money. But at least we more or less have a system, so... No devils? 3 demons. Okay. So... I think we should start trying to start testing these. So we're just going to start adding. I need to find out which one of these is not the correct one. And the order has to be the same. So first, let's take Stygia. Or are we gonna take it? Now I'll try to find out what it is that... No devils, no demons. That is good. So, know what 5 are. Nessus seems to be one of them always. So, Nessus, this Minaros Legethos. Devil and 3 demons. Well, Nessus is gonna be the devil, because I didn't change the order. These Minaros and Legethos need to be changed. So, Nessus, Minaros, Legethos, this. Or devil. I'm nearly broke. One more loss and I will have to return home in shame.
Hello.
Okay. I'm nearly broke. One more loss and I will have to return home in shame. Apologies, sir, but I can hardly afford a small wager. Yes, yes, yes. You have a lone devil. Excellent. Two demons. So, Nessus always seems to be there. This is the same situation we had the first time. So, let's try this. Devils and demons. The order has to be same. Teacher. This. Norus. Single devil, single demon. So Stygia is 1, Nessus is 1. Mm, right, so Furnace, Mabo, Aldini, Cunning. Why did I do this? This is not how I was supposed to do this. Uh, what did we get? No devil, single demon. And what did I choose? Furnace, Bolt. Yeah, this makes no sense. I was supposed to replace this or us. Okay, Furnace, Malbo, Minoras, a lone devil. Which could it be? So it's not this. The devil is Minoras of Legathos. We also know that Malbolt is not a demon. It's just a demon. Ah. So whatever we choose, it should have a... Okay, Avernus. This. Maladomini and Phlegethas. No devils, no demons. Excellent. That means... Oh shit, did I screw things up? It means Minoros is the devil. And it's gonna be... Also means, since we didn't get any demons, right? That Kanya is the other demon. So we have our Hells, Styxnesses, Minoros, and Kanya. Nessus, Kanya, Minoros, and Stygia. or devils. Forget hells. This loss has put me in the abyss. At least I still have the clothes on my back. Unless of course you'd like to wager up for them. Never mind that. I'll be captured by a hack if I step out of this inn in my skivvies. Well, sir, suppose I've no need to wish you good fortune, for you've taken all of mine. Farewell. Oh, we got a level up. And what now? An exit. Right. Bone speeds. Elbow. That might be a good damage spell. 10d6 fire damage, 10d6 of acid damage, 10d6 of electrical damage, and 10d6 of sonic damage. Elbow ignores evasion and improved evasion, so it'll basically always do damage to all targets no matter what. And it has a decent range too. Hard to resist. Spell resistance effects though. It might be very good against certain types of opponents. And it's an extra spell slot basically. Do I take an epic spell or do I take Great Intelligence? The damage isn't all that much considering the hit point pools our enemies have, so that's why I'm sort of reluctant to take it. I think I'll take Intelligence, unless there's something else. Yeah, the spell focuses are not bad by any means. However, I'd like to have more spells, so I probably should have been a sorcerer in the first place. Later spell focus is just one extra point to difficulty class. Intelligence. I don't think that's particularly a good choice, but who the hell cares at this point. Intelligence 31. Shouldn't give us anything new. But we're 1 point away from getting something extra. Hopefully the others are that want to play these kind of games. Betrayer's Gate. It's a dreamscape. Evidently been here before. Paramount. This man is deathly pale. Even his eyes are drained of what once may have been a far more vibrant hue. Colorless, too, is his demeanor. His face is without age, yet wrinkles mark the stern outline of a brow too often furrowed. When he looks at you, however, you catch occasional glimpses beyond his stoic visage. There are flashes of anger, sadness, regret, and despair.
Time to finish this.
That black portal before us. It is not something native to our world, or even the realm of dreams.
It began here. I stood at the betrayer's side, at my brother's side. They were gathered around us, Celestials, dragons, mortals, both alive and dead. Did the room expand to hold such a host, or is my memory too small?
You're Araman, a great wizard of Thay. You're the one who usurped Sophia's academy.
I was not always a red wizard. The last time I laid eyes on that door, I was nothing but a younger brother, the shadow of a better and wiser man. We stand before the betrayer's gate, a door that should not be. Rest your eyes upon its edges and its grooves. Watch them carefully, and you can sense the wrongness. Death and life flow together in that simple slab of rock. Pass through it, and you will see the place of final judgment.
You mean the Fuge Plane, the City of Judgment?
Yes, the Grey City, and its wall of screaming souls. Passage to that forlorn realm is granted only by death. But this gate provides another way, a forbidden way. A way that my brother opened with his silver blade. I swear to you, if I could take it back, if I could make him see.
Sophia? No. Wait, it only seems to be her. But so close. So...
You? Make him see? Ahriman, you flitting shadow. You are nothing but a leaf born by a great storm.
A telling metaphor. Would you care to explain?
Ahriman, why do you hunt me? You would destroy everything your brother strove for, render his sacrifice meaningless.
Not to destroy, to set things right. How could I choose my brother over my god? Yes, I was a feeble, flitting thing when I passed through that door. I was born by my brother's storm, but I learned from his folly. He set mortal love above the gods, so he paid the price. And we paid with him, you and I.
Be cautious. I think choosing one over the other will lead to bloodshed in this dream.
Araman, are you hunting this woman because your god commands it?
Yes, I faltered once for love of my brother, but the lesson of the crusade and of my brother's suffering has reforged my will and my faith. Understand this, I cannot betray my god again.
Other chances to express our opinion. We have to keep in mind that we're in Gam's company too, so that can color our answers. You could if you truly loved your brother. You are weak, as she says, unwilling to make a choice, hiding behind the dictates of the gods.
No, some choices, they're simply wrong. Love may make them more difficult to resist, but they are still wrong. My brother's quest was selfish. He did not consider the consequences to those who followed in his wake. And she is selfish too. She sows suffering in love's name. Let the heavens fall and roast in the pits of hell. If love was served by such as this, she would care not.
Serialness. Common creature 8. How good are you? Effortless. This is more of a shoulder fight than a real fight. It's more of a question of what would I want to really cast their way. Okay, to do something though. What spell is being casted? Sunburst. Disintegrate. They missed me. What the hell is near death here? Oh, one of the casters. 3 red wizards. And armor. Okay. I don't really have great area effect spells that can affect more. I think I might want to go to Whale's Banshee. Well, they're actually quite weak. And the red woman is aiding us, so the cunning sword. Ignore it, go after the wizard. Made your last mistake there, buddy. And love overcomes, as it always must. Thank you. That is all. And the exit to the coven is revealed again. But the meaning of this dream eludes me. Yeah, you're not the only one, buddy. We're still in the dreamscape area. Mind Flayer. I think we want to do this because these are the guys I noticed that were guarding the coven. Even if we could face the coven in the real world without doing this, it might make a lot more sense to take care of these guys first. Some kind of a game. Did Ilzenstein send you to rescue me, or are you with Yankee? Here to rescue you. You lead. I will follow after I see it is safe. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? What's the danger? Yankee Mind Slayer. Overpowering. Holy crap. So there are killers here and I need to avoid them, is that it? Ah. Got a dream dagger out of it. Bonus damage versus incorporeal. Bonus positive energy. +6 dagger. On hit sleep. It's, immunity to illusion spells. Unique power, self only. Can change its form into a number of different weapons. Almost anything you can dream of. Seems like a solid weapon. Knitting two-handed. Battle axe or great sword. Just does more damage. No downsides to it. 2d6. It's critical and the same bonuses. Right. One more to go. Ah, shit. What exactly do I need to do? That's a summoning circle of some sort. Or circle of protection. Forest window helm. It's got to be something I'm overlooking. Something I... Oh, you there. You have to help me. Perhaps. What seems to be the problem? This thing, this vile creature, claims to have the right to my soul. You mean that Falxagon over there? What, yes, so you have some experience with infernal beings. You could say that. I once knew a warlock who collected them. Collected them? Why would anyone ever do such a thing? Never mind, he's not here now, so let's concentrate on your problem. Too bad. Such expertise would come in handy right about now. The matter at hand concerns the contract I signed with that... what did you call it again? Falxagon? Wait, you signed a contract with a devil? No, that is, I did sign a small agreement, so yes, I suppose. Yes. What are the terms of this agreement? Not my soul, that's for sure. We simply agreed on a number of favors he would grant me if I did certain things for him. Do you have a copy of this agreement? Yes, but I need to keep looking through it. I'm sure he has another copy on his person, just to taunt me with in case I lose mine. I'll ask to see his copy then. I'm pretty sure if I take care of the arcane circle, I have a chance to just release the devil. Greetings, my friend. I hope our good friend Varus here hasn't concerned you over much with talk of our business relationship. He says you have a claim on his soul. Is there any truth to that? Why, yes, but that is only because I do have a claim to his soul, all explicitly stated in the contract. You have a copy of this contract? Of course. Here, you may peruse it at your leisure. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I'll do that. So we'll get to play a lawyer for a while. Can't actually use it. How the fuck are you supposed to use it? I think it's basically a spell scroll, but for a forbidden school. Okay, that is horseshit. I can't basically use a very vital scroll. That could prevent us from really dealing with this, because now Gan's abilities are used here. That is a gigantic problem. After unfurling the scroll, you realize that it would take far too long to read it in its entirety. Perhaps it would be better to find a relevant section. Start at the beginning. A maddeningly long piece of text starts the document by declaring the omnipotence of someone named Asmodeus and declaring the inevitable victory of the devils over the long-hated foes, the demons. Further on, you find a passage that pertains to the matter at hand. I, Paras Windelhelm, do enter into a binding agreement with the devil Enzibur for an unspecified length of time. The terms of the agreement exist in accord with the tenets laid out in the Pact of Primeval, which states that the text continues on for many pages, citing a document of some considerable importance to devils. Find the part about what favors Paras bargained for. The section regarding what favors were granted is located a few pages into the document. A short passage prefaces the section, followed by a bit of text much smaller than the rest, after which the favors themselves are explained. Read the preface. The signee agrees that the following favors are to be had upon completion of the services mentioned. The type, number, and degree of the services to be rendered are not negotiable after the signing of this contract. Small text. Each favor shall be granted but once and have a duration of 1 year, renewable each time the signee fulfills the obligations of a new favor. Should a favor's duration run out without being renewed, it can be granted again for another year starting from the date the signee fulfills the obligations for another item on the list. Okay, favors. There are 5 favors listed total, and each specifies the condition required for it to be granted. They seem to have an order of sorts, with the later favors requiring more from the signee. First favor. For the favor of one powerful magical item, unspecified, the signee must inflict pain on a helpless victim. Second. For the favor of increased skill in one area of endeavor, the signee must perform a mischievous act upon a hated foe. For a favor of a wish of limited proportions, the signee must cast a spell of evil nature. For the favor of increased mental ability, the signee must cause grievous harm to another being. Finally, for the favor of supreme magical power, the signee must cause directly or indirectly the death of another. The end. Final part of the scroll is more mind-numbing legal jargon before ending with a signature that clearly reads Farah Swindlehelm. Below that is a long string of neatly written symbols. Slightly above the signature, you notice a section of incredibly more small text. Symbols. Symbols are arranged in a neat row and appear to be comprised of sharply written lines in odd geometric patterns. After a few moments, you realize that what you're looking at can only be Emzebur's signature. Tiny text. The text is written so small that you can barely make it out. If you hadn't been carefully examining the document, it is likely you would have missed it altogether. It reads, "Furthermore, the signee agrees that should all services be rendered unto the provider, and all favors for such services granted in response, that the signee's immortal soul become the sole property of the provider for all of eternity." Right. So he's boned, unless we can show that some of the agreement is still not fulfilled. Well, he's wrong, right? It doesn't say anything about giving it my soul. I made sure that none of the things I had to do for him involved my soul in any way. Actually, I'm afraid it does say something about your soul. It does? Where? Right here at the bottom. It says that if you complete all the terms of the contract, your soul becomes his property. Oh gods, I didn't even see that. I just checked the conditions and signed the stupid paper. You mean you didn't even read the whole thing? Of course not. Did you see how long that thing is? Did you read the whole thing just now? Of course. You did? In that case, I apologize. I didn't realize anyone could read that fast. Okay, I'm just gifted that way, I guess. Now that we've cleared that up, why don't you tell me how this all started? It all began several years ago. I was one of 2 apprentices under the tutelage of Master Wizard Galban of the Telflam. At first my studies went well, but then the other apprentice, Ithias, began to pull ahead of me. Master began to get upset that he had to teach us at different grades, and he started assigning me menial tasks so that he could spend more time with Ithias. It became so unbearable that I went to look for a new teacher. One prospective teacher who lived nearby was a summoner, but I arrived early to our meeting and he hadn't returned home yet. Instead, I found that thing in a circle in the center of the room waiting for me. What did you do? I was about to go outside to wait for him when the creature began speaking to me. The first talk we had was pretty ordinary. It asked why I was there and then what my life with Galban and Ithias was like. Did you sign the contract during that first talk? No. I returned home, but Enzibur began to visit me whenever Galban and Ithias went out. We eventually came to an agreement. What kind of an agreement? Nothing too drastic. The first contract he offered me was that you would expect from a devil, with my soul as the price and everything. The first contract? He later came to me with another contract, promising that it was much different than the last one. This one only required small favors on my part, and nothing was absolutely required of me. That sounds suspicious. Naturally, I also had some misgivings, but I couldn't find anything wrong with the contract, so I signed it. But you said you didn't read the entire contract. A minor technicality. I've read enough accounts and treaties to have learned how to scan a document quickly, and did so. If anything, I gave the contract more time than I usually would have. I should certainly hope so. Yes, well, things went all right at first. I fulfilled a couple of the conditions in the contract and was rewarded as promised. My studies began to pick up and my situation got better. But then what happened? At some point the favors vanished. I still have no idea why. Ah, intelligence. There was a stipulation in the contract that stated favors would only last 1 year. There was? Yes, I must have missed that part too. Only I had never signed this stupid thing. No arguments there. So the benefits disappeared. What did you do about it? I summoned Inzifor. Unfortunately, Ithias burst into my room and caught me talking to him. He immediately began threatening to tell the master. That wasn't smart. No, but Ithias was never quite as brilliant as Master Galban believed. He didn't foresee what I did next. Which was? Without thinking, I cast a spell at him. He wasn't quite so quick to run to the master after being doused with acid. Unfortunately, I had an area silent spell memorized as well. You wouldn't believe how much he screamed. Ah, what happened then? I fled. I grabbed a few of my things and just started running. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had to get away before the master discovered what I had done. Didn't take long for him to find me, though. And then, don't leave me in suspense. He said I was dangerous, and he began chanting a spell. I didn't know what to do. I closed my eyes and was covering when I heard a crackling of energy, and then a harumph of surprise. A harumph? Yes, a harumph. It's that sound that old men often make to express displeasure or surprise. I know that. What happened then? I opened my eyes and he was gone. I searched the area where he had been standing and only found some dust. I was scared out of my mind. Did his spell backfire? It's possible, I suppose. Alban was a very powerful wizard, though. I doubt he could make such a mistake. What do you think happened to him? I honestly don't know. He might have just teleported away, or he might have been killed by a spell. Either would explain the dust I found. Why would he teleport away? He wouldn't, or at least I can't think of a good reason why he would, which means he's likely dead. So I fled. Again, I didn't stop until I had gotten clear out. I was staying at an inn in about a day's ride from Helflam when I found a letter in my pack. It said that the terms of our contract were complete and that my soul would become Inziber's property upon my death. So now you're trying to get out of it. Hells yes, I'm trying to get out of it. Wouldn't you? I suppose so. Do you have any clues on how to get out of the contract? Very little, I'm afraid. I've been researching infernal contracts for weeks now, with little progress due to the subject matter. People look at you differently when you tell them you want to find out about making pacts with devils, you know. Have you discovered anything useful at all? Only a little bit about Baltezu lore, from anyone of real authority. I have found some interesting things in stories written about infernal contracts, however. Tell me about the Baltezu lore. Well, a few accounts I've read by summoners crazy enough to have frequent dealings with Baltezu say they're sticklers for details and always try to do things within the rules they set for themselves. Wouldn't that be a little limiting? That's exactly what the book said the demon's viewpoint regarding Baltezu is. Are you comparing me to a demon? No, I was just pointing out an odd coincidence. Right, So, what about the stories? Were they helpful? Actually, there were two general themes to the stories I found. In the first type, adventurous mortals managed to escape from their contracts by using their wits. And the second type? The second type involved adventurous mortals trying to escape from their contracts using their wits, only they were outsmarted by the devils and had their soul taken. Okay, let's stick with the first type. What did you learn? In the stories, the mortals always escape their contracts by either finding some type of error in the contract or proving the devil broke the rules somehow. The rules. The stories were always a little hazy on the details the rules the devils followed. I think most of the ones used in the stories were made up, as the author didn't really know anything about the topic themselves. So we don't know what rules Ensobor might have broken. Sadly, no. Might be able to learn a little more about it from him, though. Hmm, it might be worth a shot. We might be able to just look at the contract again. Problem is, I'm not sure
All who can
whose
hear,
stats are being
follow.
used when we're looking at these. Okay. Let's see if there's anything popping up. I'm afraid the GAN's mental stats would not be good for this. My intelligence on the other hand would be. Yeah, I don't think this is a path for us because we just can't
All who can
fucking
hear,
use the.
follow.
We can't read a piece of
Yes.
paper. Oh, what a load of shit. That is the biggest pile of shit I've seen so far. Forbidden spell schools prevent you from reading a piece of paper. That is intended as a piece of paper. At least I think it is because of that. Why would you have any kind of limitation on a item like that? I just don't get it. The point is, this discussion is our only way out. Hello again, my friend. Always a pleasure. What would you like to discuss now? Let's talk about Faras. If you must. This is going to be a dreadfully boring line of questioning, though, I can assure you. What makes you think you have a claim to his soul? He fulfilled the conditions of our contract. That's not difficult to understand, is it? But there were portions of the contract that were extremely hard to read. Don't you think that's a little unfair? Hardly. Faraz had as much time as he liked to examine the contract before he signed. If there was a portion he disagreed with, he could have refused to sign. But he didn't know about the part about his soul. Ignorance is no excuse, mortal, in this and every other facet of life. I'd like to ask some questions about the contract. By all means, a fine piece of work, that document. One of my finest, in fact. What in particular did you wish to ask about it? Infernal contracts in general. My favorite subject. What about contracts would you like to know? What type of contracts are there? There are two main varieties, but nearly limitless variations of the two. The first type of contract is known as the Pact Certain. It is a simple and binding agreement wherein a mortal offers up his soul and a Batezu specifies what will be given for it. And the other type? Other type of contract is known as a Pact Insidious. It is composed of a list of lesser favors a mortal can receive if specified acts are performed. So that would be the type of contract Ferris signed. Exactly. I had offered him a pact certain initially, but he shied away when the topic of his soul was brought up. Quite a shame, really. Would have kept things much simpler. How does one get out of a contract? You don't. Contracts are binding agreements and as such are enforced harshly. Define harshly. One possible punishment involves sending a pack of infernal hounds to tear the Oathbreakers to shreds. His remains scattered to the winds. From there the measures only get worse. But there's no way to get out of one. Not if the contract is well written. So if there was a flaw in the contract somewhere, a mortal could get out of it. I suppose so. I can't imagine a Patesu who could be so careless, though. Any other way? Well, I suppose if the Patesu in question were to inadvertently break the stipulations of the contract, it would become null and void. The same would happen if the Patesu broke any of our laws in carrying out the contract. Patesu law, eh? Interesting. Mind if I ask you another question? Hmm. I'd like to know more about the favors and conditions. Getting right to the meat of the document, I see. That section is actually pretty standard as far as such things go. I promise to do certain favors for a mortal in exchange for particular services they can do for me. What kind of favors? Oh, many things. Some people want to be stronger, richer, or have certain problems, shall we say, taken care of. We are happy to oblige as long as they fulfill the conditions we set. And the conditions are? The conditions we require mortals to fulfill are generally small matters that are only of interest to my kind. Such as? Oh, petty acts such as theft, cruel acts such as torture, and finally terrible acts like murder. What do you gain by forcing mortals to do such acts? It's quite like your mortal jobs. If I perform well in this task, I stand a chance of being promoted. And if you do poorly? I find it better not to think in those terms. Hmm. What kind of conditions? Now we've asked this. Well, Batezu have a certain vested interest, as it were, in the things people do. If we can make them do certain things, it benefits us. You grow stronger by making mortals misbehave, you mean? That's a rather simplistic view of things, but no less correct for being so. Hmm. How is, let's see, inflicting pain on a helpless being doing you a service? Hmm. It corrupts the one performing the service, of course. That's what we do, after all, corrupt mortals. You were aware of that, were you not? What's the purpose of it? A fascinating line of inquiry. It's so rare for mortals to wonder what we get out of our bargains. It's always me with them. Very well. I'd be delighted to explain it to you. Tezu, or devils as immortal refers to us, have a unique economy that is based on souls. The more souls the devil possesses, the richer and more powerful he is. Main problem is collecting them. We can't just grab a mortal's soul when they die, though certainly unsavory elements have been known to do just that. There are rules that govern these things. You see, and if nothing else, a Tezu always follows the rules. What kind of rules? Well, when a mortal dies, his soul goes to his god. If a mortal doesn't worship any particular god, his soul becomes the property of the god of the dead. You mean Kellenbor? Yes, that's the current one, I believe. Current one? Well, they do change so often. Why, there have been at least 4 different death gods since I was spawned as a lemure. These would be Jurgle, Miracle, Cyric, and Kellenbor. Why, yes, they would. How studious of you to know all 4. Most mortals nowadays don't even remember Jurgle. Why am I asking about these things? Ugh. Tell me about Jurgle. Jurgle was quite the perfectionist during his reign, and he kept detailed records of everything, if such a thing were possible. I'd say he was better at negotiating contracts than Tezu. What happened to him? Strangely enough, he gave away his position to Merkel. Why in the world would he do that? Believe it or not, the popular story is that he was bored with the position. He still toils on, though, just not as a god of the dead. Where is he now? He dwells in the City of Judgment with Kellenbor and serves as his scribe. I imagine it's a much less demanding job than his former one. Okay, this might be of interest at some point. Interesting. Can I ask you about one of the other gods? Tell me about Merkel. Ah, Merkel was truly a wondrous god of the dead. His priests spread the fear of death with efficiency and panache. How did he lose his godhood? He was killed during the time of troubles while fighting Misra over the mortal city of Waterdeep. Can you really kill a god? Well, such a thing is possible, but it is not usually as final as it is for mortals. Gods who die still linger on for quite some time in other planes of existence, and can be reawakened if enough mortals pay worship them. Interesting. Tell me of Cyric. There's not much to tell, really. Cyric wasn't Lord of the Dead for long enough to really influence our dealings much. What happened? There was some sort of uprising, I believe. When the dust settled, Kellenbor was the new Lord of the Dead. Kellenbor was a bit of a problem at first, for he didn't wish to deal with us at all, preferring to punish the wicked and reward the innocent. Those were tough times indeed. But then something happened. Yes, one day everything changed and Kellenbor began acting like a proper death god. He sent messengers to the Baetezu asking to renew former ties with us, and the rest, as they say, is history. What caused the change? No one knows for sure. Some say his love for Mistra died, and his last shreds of humanity died with it. Others propose that he was disciplined by Eo for not doing his job properly. What do you think happened? I'm not really one for speculation. I'm just glad that proper business has returned. That might be more important than it's really given here. Because it seems like his view initially might have been similar to what the Red Robe woman wants, or what the betrayer also attempted. Um, Instead of upholding the system, try to do things your own way. But it caused something. It caused problems in some way. So he had to change the system, enforce the system instead of following just his conscience. Hmm. Ah, I don't think we might not be able to do this. This could be that I have just wasted a huge amount of time on this, and the problem is I can't actually use the contract itself. I would really need more
Hmm?
charisma, I suppose. That might push us over the edge.
I'm ready if you need me.
Because what we would really trying to use is use magical device to get over the limitation about using the scroll. Eagle Splendor. You wouldn't happen to have an item that increases charisma, would you?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I'm ready if you need me.
I wouldn't happen to have an item that increases charisma. I think they're all with the cleric, pretty much. We have a charming sling, but +2 charisma isn't gonna do shit. It's one extra point in the skill. Three charisma, at least that's something. But we can get that by just casting a spell. The big deal would be heroism. That will give us +4 to the skill. But that's a really desperate thing to try to do. At the same time, I don't really see we have a lot of options. I just don't get why, because it seems like it should not be like this. There's no sense. Ooh, Mass Eagle Splendor. It makes no sense. It's just a contract. It's the entire point of the prohibited spell code is to just to stop you from learning additional spells after you become specialized. That's the only reason it exists. So I feel we're basically being tripped by the game mechanics for no particular reason. I'll use the scroll one more
Yes.
time
I'm
on
ready if you need me.
and now that we've learned something
Hmm?
more again, if that helps.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think this is a gigantic waste of time. I don't know. I feel like I'm being
Hmm?
cheated here.
I'll take the lead.
It's a piece of paper, why the fuck can I read it? Mm-hmm. Plus 3. I don't think it stacks, but whatever. That makes no difference. Right. And we still can't use this. So, fuck me. Actually, I'll end this here. I want to be able to use the informal contract, and I want to see if there's some kind of a workaround to get that, because this seems like this is basically a bug as far as I'm concerned. I wasted so much time on talking to these people and going through the contract already that I don't want to go throw it all away. So. Workarounds, workarounds.